Welcome to the Blogger Genius Podcast, brought to you by MiloTree. Here's your host, Jillian Leslie.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I am so excited to introduce my guest today because I am a fangirl of hers. This is Sue B. Zimmerman, and I think of her as an Instagram guru. She's like a social media educator. She's a business coach. She, according to the Huffington Post, she's one of the top 50 must-follow women entrepreneurs. If you are not following her, I recommend you do. So welcome to the show, Sue.
Hey, it's really great to be here. And I love that you told me when we were pre-gaming that you heard me in your ears when you were on vacation in Hawaii years ago.
Yes.
Right?
So it was just as like Instagram was this kind of cool platform, but nobody yet had cracked the code of how to use it for business. And all of a sudden I was listening to a podcast and you were on it and you started talking about that. And you like made my eyes go wide. I think it was a podcast on social media examiner.
Yeah,
yes.
Probably, because you said that you then met me at Social Media Marketing World this past year.
Yes. And I stalked you. I ran off the stage and followed you kind of into the back where I shouldn't have been. And I said, Sue, please come on my podcast.
Oh, that's so funny. I do remember you now. And yes, I do have a lot of stalkers, but I love all of them. So it's all good. It's all good.
So, okay, so I feel like I want to start from the beginning, but I also want to make sure we touch on all the stuff that's happening on Instagram. Sure. Mm-hmm. Because there have been so many new things rolled out just in the last month or so.
Yeah, this might set you up for some good questions, and I know that you have some in mind, but let me just first say to everyone listening that, Instagram is really a village. There's over 1 billion monthly active users now. And when I first started teaching 6 years ago, there was 140 million active users. So the app is growing like crazy. And now there are neighborhoods in the village. That's what I like to say. I use this analogy. I think it really makes people think more clearly about this app. So we have our feed, which is what we've had all along. And that essentially is your digital magazine where the bio is the cover of that magazine, who you are, what you do, why you do it, and how you're different from everyone else that does what you do. And then your feed is a representation visually of that content that you promised in your bio. And then we have another neighborhood, which is our stories.
Yes.
And there's a street in that neighborhood called highlights, because in order to have highlights, you have to pull down the content from the stories and bring those resources into your highlights. And then we have Instagram Live as a third neighborhood. And then finally, we have IGTV. So there is a lot that we can talk about, but I want the listeners to know that no matter which neighborhood you commit to visiting and hanging out in, it's essential that you always show up with purpose, focus, intention in a branded way that your followers will connect to you.
Right. Now, what do you say, though, to entrepreneurs? So our audience is bloggers, small business owners, that kind of thing. And I always say this, their most limited resource is time.
Right.
So you're telling me there are all these avenues or all these places where I might need to be.
Right. Well, I coach a lot of clients, and I have a lot of people in my VIP community for Ready, Set, Gram, which is our signature course. And I tell people that you should not feel like you need to be everywhere because your competitor is. You need to be where you're happy being, where it doesn't really feel like work. If you're saying, oh my God, I got to go post on Instagram, it totally sucks, and I just checked it off my to-do list, next. You probably shouldn't be there, because so much of the success on Instagram happens after the post with engagement, which we can get into soon. But I tell my clients, master one social platform, like know every nuance, every tidbit of information on how to excel and show up in a way that people are going to remember you so that you stay top of mind. The more you spread yourself too thin and you just do random things, you're just going to get random results. And that's the problem with most busy solo entrepreneurs, creativepreneurs, is they just do random things thinking that they need to do all the things, and then they don't have any traction.
Got it. Okay, so if I were an entrepreneur today, and given that you laid out all these different features, places on Instagram, can you recommend one over the other?
It goes back to what do you enjoy doing? Because a lot of people hate being on video, so they're like have palpitations about like doing Instagram Live or doing IGTV or maybe showing up in their stories. It has to be where you have a comfort level, and when you have a comfort level, you have confidence, and when you have confidence, you show up in a great way. And the minute you are not comfortable doing something, it just doesn't translate well, and again, you get those mediocre results.
Got it. Okay. Because right now, I have to say, I kind of a switch turned in me, where I said I want to be more active on stories. I was having those heart palpitations, just feeling like, oh, I don't know what to put on, and I don't think people are going to really care. And then I somehow shifted my mindset and said, let's play around with this. Let's start exploring GIFs and music and all these new features and just have fun with it, and know that, for example, in my stories, they're going to go away in 24 hours. And that
Exactly.
freedom has really helped me.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay, first of all, a lot of people really love my persona because I am so real and relatable and not perfect by any means. And I show up in that way, in my stories. And so you get a real sense of the intimacy of that person. And that to me is the magic of Instagram stories. When you can craft a story that is entertaining, compelling, interesting, funny, behind the scenes, you name it, if you can really connect to your followers in some way that makes them want to engage and converse with you, you now have a conversation.
Okay, so I just have to interrupt. I see
Yeah.
people, though, in their stories, and let's say they have Etsy shops, or let's say, they're creative in some way, but I'm watching in their story their kids jumping in the pool. And I don't care that much. I mean,
Right.
good for
Well,
them. But that I go, oh, I don't. So then I get worried, like, I don't want to show my kid jumping in the pool.
oh, agree. I am not interested a day in the life of you as a mom, what you do, what you eat, where you go. That's on a personal business account, not a business account, not a business Instagram account. So I have two accounts. You probably know this.
Yes.
I have a personal where I show the day in the life of a busy entrepreneur. And yes, I do show you my husband occasionally, my kids, my dog, where I go, where I shop, where I eat, where I travel. And people like that because a lot of people live vicariously through my travels because I am on the go and I show them things that they never would have seen. And I do it in a way that is entertaining. Now, on my personal account, the Instagram expert, I'm always showing up with and only with Instagram related content for tips and strategies and news and tactics. And it's very laser focused. I say slay in your lane.
Ooh, I
Slay
like
in
it.
your lane.
Yep.
Yes. Slay in your lane and don't detour. The minute you detour and show me that you're having, cheers, it's 5 p.m. somewhere, margarita time, like, I don't care. Like,
Right.
good for you. Exactly.
Okay, I get it. Okay, so you then use both accounts very differently.
Oh, yeah. I'm very intentional.
Okay.
Um, um, Very, very intentional. So Zimmerman is literally me. If you want to connect with me as as a bit, I've been an entrepreneur. I don't know if you know this. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13. I've had 18 businesses.
Oh my God.
I had my first $1 million business when I was 22. I was on QVC. I've got lots of wisdom and information that backs up the claims of everything I teach and do. It's based on experience and not just I'm an expert. It's like I had success in my store on the Cape using Instagram first. And I had
Okay.
a very, very, very successful store. And I decided that I wanted to teach other people how to have the same kind of success because retailers were challenged and struggling. And that's really how I got into starting to teach Instagram is as a small business owner who went through it. I was on Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare, doing everything to get more customers. And the minute I started using Instagram, my sales increased dramatically, so much so that I'm just like, this is crazy. And so I just knew I was on a mission. And if you I was into, do you know who John Lee Demas?
Of course.
Yeah, so John Lee's a good friend of mine. He interviewed me on his podcast, and if you go search Sue Zimmerman, John Lee Dumas, you'll see he challenged me on that interview when I said, I did a video kind of staking my claim teaching Instagram, and that video is like 5 years old. I got back from a conference and just said, I'm going to teach everyone all over the world how to use Instagram. Wow. So like I just kind of manifested what I wanted, and I don't stop till I get what I want. Like I'm that entrepreneur, I'm that focused, I'm that determined. And so 6 years later, yes, 6 years later, I have a business that's thriving. It's extremely successful. I have 2 full-time employees. I have five contractors. We're a mighty team of 7, and I play to my strengths every day. And not everyone has that luxury. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole here with you, but that's just to give a little context to everything I'm saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So here's my question. Is the goal with Instagram connection? Is it I want people to interact with me? Or is it I just want to kind of blast out my life?
No. I mean, everything's always, like I said, with intention. I believe that a comment on Instagram, if someone leaves a comment on Instagram, a real comment, none of this nice pic, follow me bullshit, but I hope I can swear on your podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so if somebody leaves a real comment, in my mind, that is permission for you to have a conversation, meaning you can respond. I mean, you should respond to every comment, but meaning you could take that conversation deeper if you wanted to. You could strategically have conversations one-to-one in the Instagram direct message, because conversations lead to building a thriving community.
Right.
And when you have a thriving community of people who champion for you and endorse what you do and talk about you when you're not listening and tag you on post and repost your content, then you have conversions. And conversions, we all want them, are things like growing your email list or actually selling something. But it doesn't start there. And that's where people have the biggest problem. They want to have a sale first without even saying hi or commenting or connecting. You've got to connect with a comment to have a conversation, to take that conversation deeper. And I do this. I have blocks on my calendar twice a day where I am spending time engaging in real conversations, and people ask me questions, I answer, I direct them to a blog post I've written, I direct them to an IGTV video I've done, I direct them to an Instagram post, I give them the information they need, and I build that trust. And so when they are ready to purchase something from me, maybe join my group coaching or buy my hashtag handbook, or purchase one of my social media classes like my Instagram stories class or a hashtag class or my course, I can direct them where they need to go and not sell them. No one likes to be sold to. No one. People want the thing that's going to help them get what their pain point is. Like, what are their challenges?
Right. So as a busy entrepreneur, I think that we think about Instagram as quote unquote brand building. And by the way, that's like really abstract. I think we think about it in a really abstract way. And what you're saying is very different.
Oh, but I believe when it's done well, absolutely it's brand building. It's if you have a branded look and feel and energy around your content, you will attract your tribe. You will attract those that you are trying to serve. But if it's not branded, or there's not a theme or a message or information that's relevant to attract that person, you're not going to have results.
Right. But what I think, though, you're taking it to another level than I think I typically think of when I think of Instagram, which is, for me, it's more amorphous brand building. So, for example, Catch My Party, which is our first business, we have something like 150 Instagram followers. and we show off content from our site, which is all about parties. People upload their photos of their beautiful parties, we show them off. And so for me, it's always felt like this is our way, one, of giving back to our community, to say, here, we want to highlight these people who've done amazing work, hopefully send some followers their way. But I think that I have not taken it to another level, which is what
what is your account?
Catch My Party.
And
Are
what does
you
that
looking?
stand? Yeah, what does that stand for?
Catch My Party is take a look at my party.
Okay, so I'm looking at your account already. Wow, you really have 156,000 followers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. Okay, and how long have you been here?
About 5 years.
Wow, that's impressive. So,
And by the way, I just have to say, all organic growth. We've done nothing except post beautiful parties.
wow, that's really impressive. Okay, so where you wrote Catch My Party, that's where you're missing out in some SEO. No one's searching for Catch My Party on Instagram. So, so and your bio could definitely be improved a little bit more, more directive. And what's this Milo? What's this app?
Okay, so also then so what we did was we built a plugin to help us grow Catch My Party. It worked so well for us, we rolled it out as a separate company called MiloTree. And that's what the podcast comes out of, is MiloTree. So if
Okay,
you
gotcha.
want to grow your Instagram followers, you can do it with our MiloTree pop-up.
What is this pop-up? What does it do?
So what you do is you install it on your blog or Shopify store or something like that, and it pops up and it'll say, hey, follow me on Instagram. And the pop-up
okay, it's a
itself
pop-up.
shows your most recent posts on Instagram.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then you can also use it, just so you know, for Pinterest, for YouTube, for Facebook, or to grow your email list.
Okay. Cool. All right. So anyway, Catch My Party definitely can have some improvement in the bio there. And the thing that's missing with Catch My Party, in my opinion,
I love it. Yes.
is people. Like, there's no people here.
Okay.
So I'm not interested in looking at parties. I'm interested in looking at people having fun at a party and partying. I'm not interested in the setup. Like, to me, this is just okay. This is Pinterest, not
Yes.
Instagram. This is more Pinterest. Instagram, people want to emotionally be pulled in. So, oh, happy day. Oh, joy is
Yep.
a great. Oh, joy is a great account.
Yep.
She pulls you in. Oh, happy day party shop pulls you in. Although they do a party shop, but they show people every now and again on theirs. So you're missing out on the human aspect of your account. It's more just showing the party. It's it's very promotion, like markety heavy.
Yep. Oh, I love this free session here. Yes. Yes. And so that's what we are trying to think about, which is how to personalize it. And my instinct is to personalize it with stories.
Oh, for sure. You're not doing any yet?
No, I am. I think you might see my new haircut, for example.
Okay. What was the name again? Oh, happy. What was it? I lost your account again. I'm sorry.
Oh, Catch My Party.
Catch My Party. Yeah. Okay. Catch My Party. Okay. Yeah. So I see your haircut. I really don't care.
I know.
That's such a disconnect from what you post. So I would unfollow that account if I saw that.
Interesting. Okay.
I'd be like, who are you? There is nothing that represents a party in this post.
Right.
And so I would have been like, I'm bouncing. This is not what I signed up for. This is not why I'm following you. It has to be consistent everywhere.
Okay.
If it's not, you're going to lose your followers. Favorites of the week.
Yep. Well, we do that. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, again, people are missing.
Okay.
Podcasts. Yeah. You're just getting people to swipe up those. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the whole human aspect of the brand that's missing.
I love that. Okay. Well, guess
Okay.
what? I mean, it's funny because I feel like I feel like my businesses are very siloed. So in my podcast, people get to hear me and know what I'm doing. But I feel like Catch My Party is probably too siloed.
Yeah, I mean, we can do a whole strategy session. Let's keep going with your questions for the interview. What will help your followers, the listeners?
Okay, so let's talk about followers and how important are they and how important is it to be growing followers?
It's important to grow the right followers, not followers. And to be honest with you, I have a lot of followers on the Instagram Expert, and they're not the right followers. And so, I have 64,000 followers or something like that. And I wish I was much more intentional at the very beginning and blocked followers that were literally just random followers, from countries, guys, teenagers, the random people that follow me all over the internet that don't take any action, that lurk on. Because if I blocked all of them, my engagement rate would be so much better. But now that I have so many followers, that would take so much time for me to go back. And the truth is, I grow my email list about 200 to 250 people a week every week, and that's my goal. My goal isn't the followers. My goal is getting people on my email list so I can stay in touch with them.
Interesting. Okay, but then we're talking about how you will also reach out and talk to people on Instagram.
Exactly. I do that every day. I mean, I do that either in the direct message with a video, I do it in comments, every day. It's what I do.
So okay, but people will say, oh my God, but that's exhausting.
Well, it's not when it's what you love doing. It's
Okay.
and how I get results. I mean,
Okay.
you want to grow a thriving business. It's working. That's positive reinforcement. I show up for my community because my community loves what I do, and I have real conversations, and I have real customers, and I have real clients, and I make real money.
Right.
So there's the positive reinforcement. It's working. If it's not working, you're doing something wrong. If you're not converting, you have 56,000 followers, and are they on your email list or are they just on Instagram?
They're on Instagram.
Well, that doesn't mean. Do you have a list?
Yes.
Okay, so if they're on Instagram and they're not on your list, then there's a problem. What is your goal? What do you try to get out of these followers?
We monetize via traffic predominantly in affiliate sales.
Oh.
So we're not selling a specific product. So our business model is a little bit different. So with MiloTree, we are selling a product, an app. So that's again why our businesses are slightly different, or very different. And so therefore, I want that one-on-one connection with MiloTree, with the Blogger Genius podcast. Whereas I want eyeballs on Catch My Party.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, on Catch My Party, yes, we are incredibly aligned with Pinterest, and we have 850,000 followers on Pinterest.
Mm-hmm.
So I say to people, if you're a mom and you've been planning parties, chances are you've been on my site.
Okay.
And so that's, so we are intentional, and that's where Instagram, like we've just kind of grown naturally, but I have not been as intentional with Catch My Party on Instagram. So hearing you is very helpful.
Yeah, because I'm looking at you have 156,000 followers and you're not even getting 100 likes on a post.
Mm.
Well, the one you just did. Okay, you have a couple hundred. You make it to about 300 on a post.
Well, it depends. Just so you know, if it's a mermaid party, we will get many more.
That's interesting.
So it's very content specific.
Yeah.
If it's a theme that people love,
yeah.
We can get over 1,000, that kind of thing.
Right.
So it's not me specific.
Yeah. So what is the question you want me to answer for your followers, for your listeners here right now?
For my listeners is, should people on Instagram be thinking about growing followers? Should people be, and I think what you answered is, it's really for you in your business about engagement. And that if in fact you have high engagement, Instagram and their algorithm will go, ooh, this person's getting a lot of engagement, we should show her stuff to other people.
Right. Well, engagement is based on how many saves you get, how many comments you get, how many likes you get, and how quickly they all come.
How quickly they come once you post.
Yes.
Okay. And so therefore so that's why you were saying it'd be better if you went through and got rid of like the dead weight.
Yeah. I mean, if only, that's a lot, when you have thousands of followers, weeks and weeks, if not months and months of time. And so I just would rather move on. And now I block anyone that's following me that is just like, are you kidding me?
Right.
You know, like it's just, I can tell by their profile.
Right.
I know my target audience. And if
Right.
there's someone that doesn't fit it, I'm just saying, bye-bye. I'm not interested in your follow. I would rather have the right follower, but I wish I did that long ago.
That's
That's what I'm saying.
That's so interesting. Now, could we talk about traffic? Because again, in Catch My Party, that is our primary goal. But Instagram is not necessarily a great way to get traffic.
What are you talking about? I get traffic every day. What do you mean?
Well, I guess versus say SEO, focusing on SEO, or
I don't.
Pinterest drives traffic.
Well, that so it sounds like that might be one of your preferred platform. I'm not heavily into Pinterest, and I don't pay for any SEO, and we get great traffic to our website every day because we use keywords in everything that we do, in all of our blog posts and all of our YouTube channels, and we know what are the right keywords. So
Right. But in terms of when you are driving people, is the goal on Instagram to drive people to your site? Is
absolutely every day.
okay.
Because you own it. You don't own Instagram. What if it blew up tomorrow? What if you lost your account because you bought, someone, people message me, they buy followers. Instagram's cracking down on anyone with fake followers. They're deleting accounts. They're banning people that are doing bogus things on Instagram, and they come crying to me as if I can fix it for them. I'm like, shouldn't have bought all those followers. Or
Right.
Instagram
Right.
knows when you use software. They,
Right.
so you've got to, the only thing you have is your website.
So what do you think though about people who build businesses on Instagram who don't have a website?
That it could go away tomorrow and that they'd be up shit's creek if that's what they're relying on. That's why it's so important to have a website. I
Okay.
mean, you can start a business on Instagram. Many people do. My daughter did. You can start and test an idea. You can do market research, but your goal should always to get people to go back to your website and join your email list. Period. That is our goal every time. We have a weekly campaign with our blogs, with the social sip on Facebook. I'm constantly looking to grow my email list and nurture. The reason is I can nurture those relationships off of Instagram on my own terms through my own emails.
Right. And then how often are you sending emails?
Once a week, pretty much. We are publishing a blog once a week, and
Okay.
we're in touch with our audience once a week, and our list grows daily.
Right. Right. Okay, now for example then, for you with Instagram, how do you do you feel ever there's whiplash?
What do you mean by that?
Like they just rolled out, let's say IGTV, and then they've now rolled out
I love it.
music.
I love it. I love keeping up with all the updates. They're just improving and making it the go-to place to be. I mean,
Yes.
people have abandoned Snapchat, including myself.
Yep.
People that are intimidated with doing a YouTube channel, which I'm not, and I have one, Zimmerman. You can link it in the show notes. People can learn from me for weeks there. But a lot of people are intimidated with the process of a YouTube channel. And so this is a good opportunity to put up some content that lives on in your channel.
Now, could you then tell me your thoughts on IGTV, and do you think it will rival YouTube?
No, it will absolutely not rival YouTube because YouTube is a website and IGTV is an app. So the SEO is not the same.
Okay.
I have content on both. I have very successful IGTV videos, all of them over 1,000, approaching 2,000 views. Lots of comments because my content is still consistent to what I do on Instagram. We are testing the channel and doing 7 different content buckets there. And for our next team meeting, we're going to review the stats, the views, the comments, and the retention on each one because you can get stats for each one too.
Oh wow. Okay, so if I'm an entrepreneur and I want to try out IGTV, what would be your recommendation for my first video?
It really depends. That's not where I would start if you're an entrepreneur. You have to understand all the areas of Instagram like we talked about at the beginning. And if you're good on video and you are a good teacher and you can keep someone's interest and deliver really good content in a short period, then you should create the content that your followers would be interested in. Keep a Google Doc, What are the questions they're asking you? What are the pain points they're having? Do they want to know the recipe for the mermaid cake? Is there dye in the frosting? Are you using pearl, edible pearls? You know, like what are they asking you? That's what you create.
Got it. Okay, what accounts do you follow that you go, they are doing it right?
I follow a lot. Well, everyone listening could go to the Instagram expert and look at who I'm following. Right now I'm following under 650 accounts, but I'm following them all because they're all amazing. And my favorites are brands that I'm very close to. The Dry Bar, I get a blow dry all the time, so I love the Dry Bar, and I feel like I'm walking into the Dry Bar when I'm there. Creative Live, I love their content. I've taught on stage there 4 times, and I like supporting them. Um, I like Post It. Post It brand is very creative on Instagram as a big brand.
Yep.
They stand out nicely.
Okay.
Uh, there's Emily Cockhead, Coxhead. She's got an account which is awesome called The Happy Newspaper, and it's from London. It's a real newspaper, and I actually get it delivered, so that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Sugarfina is a great account, a candy account, which you could
Yep.
learn from, like if you replicated what they did a lot. They've got the whole party thing going on, but it's with candy. So
Okay.
their account's really great. I mean, I could go on and on, but people can just go and look at what I do.
Great. Well, okay. One last piece of parting advice to people who want to do better on Instagram.
Okay. And the
So,
question is,
so that would be it, which is like people who are overwhelmed by Instagram. Kind of what would you say? Like, I guess you've answered this question, but okay, if I were to say back what you're saying, and you can tell me if this is correct, which is find your lane, uh, be intentional, and you don't have to be everywhere. And interact with the people who are interacting with you. How does that sound?
yeah, I mean, I think people that are stressed about posting, if they spent more time engaging, they would have greater success. So to everyone listening that's like, oh my God, I can't keep up. I got to post something every day. You don't. You just have to post really epic content when you post, not crap. And when you post epic content, you will get people interested. If you can't come up with something awesome to post, then show up as an awesome person who is engaging. I will say this is one of my ninja tips is when you show up in someone else's comment feed, and yes, you all should turn on notifications on the Instagram expert. That's where on the top right, there's 3 little dots. If you press those 3 little dots and you turn notifications on, every time I post, you will get a notification. And so I challenge you to do that. And when I post, be a part of the conversation. Tell me what you learned from the post, because I'm always teaching. When you, the listener, shows up consistently in the comment thread with a real comment that is thought provoking, the person commenting below you will see it. And if you show up consistently in the right communities, whether it's brands, businesses, bloggers, authors that you love and respect, you will get their attention because every time you comment, there's a notification that you've commented. And not only will you get a notification from the content creator, the people above you and below you, people leaving comments will see your comment. And if it's really good, they might say, wow, that was such a nice comment
I should, right.
that person just left. I'm going to go check
Check
them
her
out.
out. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what people don't realize. The power of the comment is so profound. If people just focused on real conversations, Instagram would be so less stressful for people.
I love that. I love that. Okay, Sue, how you've shared places people can reach out to you, but kind of what is the best way to see what you're doing, to connect with you? I'm sure it's like to DM you. So what should people do?
No, the best thing to do is to literally, open up your browser. If you're running, if you're in the car, pull over, pull over and grab my guide, SueBZimmerman.com/blogger genius, capital B, capital G, and you will get my free guide that will set you up for success. and then you will be on my email list and you will be connected to me via email and you will get all my wonderful emails that I'm talking about. So that's number one. Number two, for those of you that are action takers, and I love action takers, come on over to my Instagram account and introduce yourself on one of my posts and let me know that you came over from this specific interview. And you can tag, what account, Jillian, should they tag for you?
MiloTree app.
Okay. So, I mean, do you personally have an account or those are your two accounts?
Those are my two accounts.
Okay. So, you can tag MiloTree app. You can, let me know that you heard this on this podcast interview, and I will come over and say hello to you.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Well, Sue, it has been such a pleasure. I am a fangirl, even though you've given me some stuff to think about and work on. I so appreciate it. Again, the more I can learn, the better. So
Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I am brutally honest. It's that East Coast Boston persona that I have, but it's meant with a heart of love. So,
Of course, and I feel it. So thank
okay,
you.
good. Okay, good. All right. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun.
Are you trying to grow your social media followers and email subscribers? Well, if you've got 2 minutes, I've got a product for you. It's MiloTree. MiloTree is a smart pop-up slider that you install on your site, and it pops up and asks your visitors to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Pinterest, or subscribe to your list. It takes 2 minutes to install. We offer a WordPress plugin or a simple line of code, and it's Google friendly on mobile and desktop. So we know where your traffic is coming from. We show a Google friendly pop-up on desktop and a smaller Google friendly pop-up on mobile. Check it out. Sign up today and get your first 30 days free.